Hello everybody and welcome to Creativity Time. My name is Tatiana. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia and part of the 2021 Artisan Design Team. Wow, can you believe we are in November? That is just crazy. I don't know what to think or feel. I can feel excited because November also means that Stampin' Up! Demonstrators get to attend if they've registered for Onstage, which is our yearly conference. And I'm so excited because it's next week. Yay! But anyway, let's do some creating today. I have got a vague idea and we will be once again using the Merriest Moments bundle. And we're going to take a look at the really fun interaction or the connection between the embossing folder and the die. So let's flip. Come on. There we go. So let's flip and take a look. Hello Lisa and Tanya, thank you for joining me. So this is the Merriest Moments bundle. I think I've been favoring it a bit, but what's really fun is that you have this really intricate die and then you have, so you can, I believe, does this cut out? It does cut out, but it doesn't cut out. So it cuts out, but it doesn't cut out. We'll have a look. And then you've got the outline of it too. And what's really fun is that you can take this outline and it sits inside the embossing folder. So it locks in. Trying to move it there and it doesn't move out, well, unless you shake it out. But you can run that through your embossing folder, well, your die cutting machine, and it embosses and die cuts out at the same time. I haven't had time to play with this feature with this particular set. This is called a hybrid embossing folder and we have a one in the annual catalog as well, but I haven't played with this one because it's got this kind of like third bit to it. So I've got an idea of what we'll do, but let's start playing. So I'm going to start by, oh, that piece is just that tad too small. So we're going to start by cutting some basic white. It's got my handy trimmer. And, ooh, come on, there we go. And I am going to cut so I'm going to cut this in half and in half again. So quarters, 2/4 should be enough for the experimentation. There we go. And that will now fit nicely, yes. And just so that it doesn't move during our running through the Big Shot, well, it's actually not the Big Shot, the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. I'm just using a bit of Post-it note to seal it down. You definitely need the larger Stampin' Cut Emboss machine for this one. So that's grabbing that. And for this, we'll need the regular die cutting sandwich. So that'll be plate 1 with plate 2 and 2 plate 3s. And I grabbed the second one. I keep one that I cut on and one that I try not to cut on but have cut accidentally. So let's run this through and see the results. And this coordinates with the embossing folder as well, so I'm really excited about that. I just don't know which order. Do we cut this one out first or emboss it? And then, oh, this is pretty. So look at that. It die cuts it out completely. And now this is, it's a hybrid. I don't know if it's the same as it feels as thick as the 3D one. So let's do the sandwich for the 3D embossing folders, which are all written here. So you just need plate 1 and plate 4, which is the darker one. And you can see that the embossing folder, can you? I don't know, that might not be showing up. That's better. You can see that it's a very similar pattern. So I'm going to find which way I need to line it up. New. Aha, I think I got it. I got it. So if I just plop, bring that. There we go. So I'm going to line this up with the embossing folder. I'm just looking from the other side so that you can, well, so that I can see that I've lined it up nicely. And it might be a good time to use those little, so if you have used this wonderful coordinating feature, let me know what order you prefer to do it. Do you emboss first and then cut out? We'll do that as well, just to see which way is better or easier or more successful. So there we go. And then always put your embossing folders with the hinge side first in. It stops it from getting ruined. And more importantly, you don't want the hinge side facing one of the sides. That is the most important bit. I'm going to run that through twice just to make sure it really works, just in case. And wow, it's so pretty. I'm just going to remove the post-it note, which doesn't want to remove so easily. So maybe post-it note idea is not so good. Oh dear, the post-it note idea is not so good. Not on the intricate ones. On the larger areas, it's all right. But how pretty is that? Isn't that gorgeous? Wow. So let's try it in the opposite order. Let's take our other piece. And we're going to emboss first, making sure that that area is all there. Actually, let's, just so that you can see this in action, let's emboss and die cut. So this die cut won't be as detailed as this one, because this one has all the intricate details, whereas this is just the outline, but it's still die cutting. This is fun. So you can die cut and emboss at the same time, and using it as a 3D, well, doing the 3D embossing sandwich. So it's a little bit tighter this time because we've got the embossing folder as well as the die in there. I'm getting hungry, all this talks of sandwiches. Isn't that crazy? And there we go. So that is that one. So that one has the background kind of in there. And so what we're going to do now is place the intricate die over the top, which locks in quite well, can I just say, because of the embossing. So maybe this is the way to do it. And I'm going to place that. So that locks in. Kind of the embossing has forced the die to sit right in place. But will the embossed detail, and it would help if I return the second plate into the sandwich. There we go. That's better, otherwise it just felt too easy. Crack, crack, crack. Let's see. Ooh. So it removes a tiny skinny bit, and then got all those details. But I have to say, what do we think? Which one do you think is more detailed? Let's compare the same size. I do think if you cut first then emboss, it's that ever so slightly more detailed. Sorry, moving that off screen. But do you know what? It's very slight difference. I can see differences. Let me know. I don't know if the camera's picking them up, but there's, for example, the holly detail and those leaves. But do you know what? It's very minute, so it is a lot easier. So this one was the one that we die cut first, then embossed, and this one is the one that we embossed first, then die cut. So there we go. I might even get 2 cards out. It's hard to tell. It is a very minute difference. So you can do either way, essentially. And your card might get squished in the mail anyway, and lose some of its detail. Okay, now let's prep a card base. Ooh. Got one prepped already, go me. So I like to have my card bases when they're in portrait mode top folding, because this is really funny. I've shared it before, but when you have the horizontal blinds and you hang Christmas cards, traditionally the portrait mode cards have a side folding book fold, and when you hang them off the horizontal blinds, they become sideways. So you have to kind of tilt your head. Whereas by putting the top fold, you can hang them over that. Or if you hang them off a string, like my husband's grandparents used to string their Christmas cards across, and that would be sideways as well. So this way, no sideways cards. That is my logic and rhyme and reason. Isn't that funny? And the idea is that we will only use half. So that's why that doesn't matter per se. So we'll cut that in half and we'll have stripes of color in the background. Now, should I go Christmassy colors, reds? Or should I go greens? So let's just do a little bit of a vote. I'm gonna just pull out the ink pad for a visual. 2 ink pads just for visual. So give me a thumbs up if you think I should do the background in green colors, in green tones. And give me a love heart if you think I should do the background in reds. So let me know what you think. So once again, thumbs up for the green, love hearts for the reds. Tanya, you said I've got 2 thumbs and a heart. Tanya and Jody both did thumbs. I've got 1 heart, thumb, heart, thumbs have just got it. Ooh, a flood of love hearts. That flood of love hearts is got it to the reds. Okay, red it is. And I won't be actually using red ink. I'll be using cardstock. And the reds are Merriest, Cherry Cobbler, Real Red, and Poppy Parade. And we're going to use all 4 of them. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to make the biggest one about yay thick. You know, I am so specific. If I keep my thumbs and my finger. Okay, about 3.5 centimeters. So Merriest will be the bottom one. I always like to use the darker color to the bottom because it's visually more heavier. And therefore, by placing it at the bottom, visually, it seems more balanced. Now I need a strip, well, I need to make it 10.5 centimeters wide. And we don't need the full height, so that's all good there. Ooh. And I said about 3.5 centimeters, that's 4.5. So 3.5. And And that will be our first bit, and it'll go down there. So that's Merry Merlot. Next up is Cherry Cobbler. And we are basically repeating that. Got lots of pieces of cherry. Ditto, wide enough. And this one I'm going to do slightly smaller at 3 centimeters. And we're going to do a tiny sliver between each one. So you're getting the idea. Next, Real Red. Now the concept of this background is coming from a card I saw on Instagram. And they used a very beautiful, intricate die. And I thought that would be fun. And we did 3 centimeters, so now we're going to do 2.5 centimeters. And finally, the last one, Poppy Parade. Ooh. So we did 3.5, 3, 2.5. So this one's 2 centimeters. So I'm going to cut the 2 centimeters first this time. And need to make it 10.5 so it fits across wise. And so we've got this red ombre thing going. And I'm going to use multi-purpose glue, making sure this is all down and stuck. I'm working from the bottom up, not measuring. Like I mentioned, I will have a gap between each color, but I'm not measuring that. I'm just going to eyeball it. It's just a thin strip of white. About yay. Oh, and you got to see the top of my head. Can't wait for the paper storage to come so that I can get the ink pads off my desk. Because my desk is almost twice as big as this, but the ink pad and the stand are on, and I'm feeling cramped. You could do just 3 colors. That would work quite nicely, and I might actually cut that on an angle. We'll see. And lucky last. Did I do a live? I feel like I haven't done a live in so long. I'm sure I did one last week, but crazy days. It's November. It's crazy time. It was hubby's birthday on Monday, so I was baking a cake all day. And then we had Teacher Appreciation, World Teacher Day on... No, I'm going to go this way because it covers all colours. World Teachers Day was on Friday, so I was baking for that. So I feel as if things have stopped. And we're going to cut that in half and place it there. But before I do that, let's see if there's a sentiment that will fit. Ah, perfect. Nice, simple. Sentiment will go nicely there, which is joy. Just joy, nothing else. Leave the white. Don't be afraid of white. People are afraid of white space, and they should not be. So we're going to cut this in half, and might grab the little ruler to see if I measure from groove to groove. That's 3 inches, so at 1.5 inches. 1.5. So we want that to be around 1.5 inches. kind of nerve-wracking cutting it in half. And this is what I mean, you can use the other half. That did not work out to be half, but Joy will still fit on the little half, and that's okay. That will go there, and Joy will go there. And because I'm placing it towards the bottom, I am going to stamp it in the darkest red, which was the Merriest. And just because I've got the ink out, I won't create the second card, but I won't waste that second bit. I'll create a second one. Ooh. Ah, no! Inky fingers. This one's stiff because I don't use it much. Ooh. Oh, man. Oh. Excuse me for a second, please. I am going to go wash my fingers. This is what happens when you don't use your ink pads enough. They get stiff. Okay, inky fingers. And it always happens with dark colors. Yes, absolutely don't. Isn't that the way? It's like Murphy's Law for inkers or stampers. Murphy's Law for stampers is that it'll always happen with the darkest colors. And I'm going to put this up on dimensionals because a little bit of height will be nice. If you were very organized, you could have used the adhesive sheets because they would give really beautiful dimension. But there we go, found the little ones to give these bits some height. Hearing some sort of animal on the outside my window. I don't know what it is. A frog? Bird? Doesn't sound like a bird, but it's kind of like chirp 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 chirp. And lining that with the edge. And do you know what it needs? It needs some bling, just to set that off quite nicely. And I know exactly the bling I would like to use. Where have I put it? Remember where I put it. There it is. Yay. There. That is, don't even know its proper name. They're limited edition. I've only got a sampler. I got them for the artisan stuff. But they're part of the new Garden of Eden bundle. That's an early release from the January to June 2022 catalog, and there was some So the bundle was early release, and then there was some coordinating, or there is, should I say. It's only been available to customers as of this week. But these, so there was DSP, 2 different types of paper, that limited edition, and these beautiful gems. And these ones, the reason I was pointing, so these ones are soft succulent, and these ones are cherry cobbler. And I just thought they would set things off quite nicely. They're really beautiful. And I should have made them my customer gift this month, but forgot about them. So next month they will be my customer gift with purchase. And it's got 2 there, and we're going to go 3 right here, but I might move that one. Nope. The glue dot has decided that's where it's going to live. And what do we need? We need an inside for the card. I don't know. It's a bit of a spot there. I don't know what I want to do for the inside. Insert. There we go. It's 2 sides to every paper. You probably couldn't even see what I was rubbing at there. But I could see it, and I did not like it. There. I know what we're going to do. I know what we're going to do. And I'm going to grab an envelope. And we are going to emboss just the very bottom of the card. So not even going into that border section. We're just going to emboss that little bit down there. Bring in Big Bailey. And remember, we're doing the embossing sandwich for 3D, and I've lost plate 4. Well, technically I didn't lose it, I've placed it somewhere on my desk. Oh, no, I put it back. Wasn't that clever of me? Putting it back. Huh. Just making sure that's straight again. There. And that through. And there. You see that? So that's a nice little subtle way of embellishing the bottom of our insert. And I did bring out an envelope, so we will emboss the envelope flap as well, because we can. Sandwich through again, and going this way. I had to activate the core muscles then. Good workout. And so we've got that on our envelope flap. I'm just going to put Bailey away so that I have a bit more space on my desk. Now we just need to adhere a little bit of extra glue where the embossing bit is, because the glue will kind of embed into the embossed areas. And remember, at that side it's kind of de-embossed. So there we go. And it's subtle, but it's really pretty. And I love how it's got the dots. So you can use the embossing folder on its own. You don't have to die cut it out like I did today. It's got some beautiful decorative bits on the outside of everything as well. And that's a lot of fun to use too. But there we have it. A cute little ombre, yes, ombre Christmas card. Thank you so much. Let's flip back, and I hope that you are all safe and well and looking forward and getting ready for Christmas. I will not be live next week. I will be with some of my downline celebrating on stage. It doesn't officially start until Thursday night, but we're going to celebrate a little early because celebrations are needed at this time after 2 years, almost 2 years. Did you ever imagine that COVID, and even the word COVID, would be around for so long? Anyhow, enough of your time. I do appreciate that you have spent some time with me. I hope that I have inspired you to go and make a card. Christmas is well approaching. If you are in Australia and don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you're interested in learning more about the products, let me know and I can pop in some catalogues into the mail for you, and I'll be happy to explain any questions or answer any questions and share some creativity with you. Thank you so much, and bye for now.